want. So more data came out to support what we've been saying for many, many years, proving that regional investing is boom or bust. So CoreLogic's Property Pulse report goes on to explain that Australia's property downturn continues to take its toll on premium regional markets that benefited most from the mass exodus away from capital cities during the heights of the pandemic, with softer values, longer days on market, and bigger vendor discounts. Now, too often we receive inquiries from potential clients looking to build wealth who've been sold this false narrative promising that you can buy 10 or 20 properties and live off the cash flow. But when you actually take away the sparkle and the sales spin, the numbers don't add up. And I did these for some clients over the past couple of months because I've just been sick of people asking me about this. So according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, our yearly median personal income was $52,338 for 2018 to 2019. Now that's across the nation, and I personally think that's a little bit low, but it's what you know, okay? So let's take that as a control number, 52,338. And if you think that's low too, that makes my example probably even more powerful. Now, according to CanStar, interest rates are around 6%, okay? They've just probably gone up now from the announcement yesterday, but 6.16% overall. I just took a control amount of 6%, meaning that you would need a portfolio worth $5 million, paying over 7% rental income to make 1% profit from that rental income to earn $50,000 a year in cash flow. Oh, and before you'd earn $50,000 a year in cash flow, you have to pay tax on that and costs, rental management fees, insurances, etc., maintenance. Now, with the latest numbers from CoreLogic showing that the gross rental yields for dwellings across combined capitals is only 3.7%, that's 2.3% below a neutrally geared property, let's do the math. So 3.7% of the value of a property at the median combined capital value of $779,155, according to CoreLogic, that's what the median value is across the nation. So I took those two numbers. That works out to be a gross rental income of $28,828.73. Now, assuming that you're going to pay 6% interest rate on that particular purchase and not considering, as I said, maintenance, management costs, insurances, etc., the property is negatively geared by $17,920.57. So some will say, but you know, I've been told that I can buy cheap property that will give me high rental yields and good capital growth. Look, the combined regional gross rental numbers are in front of you here. I've highlighted them, okay? So that you can see them versus the capital cities below. Yes, the rental incomes are higher, but we've established that income isn't enough. You actually need capital growth as well. So these areas have had growth over the past few years due to a once-in-a-lifetime event like COVID-19, but that's behind us now, and people are no longer moving regional. The numbers are not showing that. And we know for a fact that over the course of 18.7-year property cycles, regional areas do not outperform the combined capital city averages in price growth in Australia. Okay, it just doesn't happen. So if anyone tells you otherwise, ask them for, if anyone's pitching you a property in Rockhampton, Queensland, and I'm just picking that because it's over 700 kilometers northwest of Noosa, and I had a client come to me the other day with one of those properties. Look at the 20-year capital growth in those areas. Okay, not the past 5 years or even 10 years where they've cherry-picked some stuff. Look at 20 years and you'll see it's had no growth. Okay, so this quantity over quality strategy, it actually doesn't bring investors closer to their wealth goals. Not to mention the amount of stamp duty for purchasing you've got to pay, purchasing costs, conveyances, having to manage the tenants, maintenance, on these, 10 or a dozen properties or whatever it may be. Okay, and I get it. When the market was red hot and booming, like we saw in 2020 and 2022, you could have thrown a dart at a dartboard and still made some money, okay? But people that have bought these properties are quickly seeing the limitations and consequences buying into the hype of these get-rich-quick schemes, okay? So just think about it. And this is why we don't recommend that our clients buy in regional areas. And when I say regional, I'm not talking about, 50 or 60 Ks from the CBD. I'm talking about greater regional areas, okay? I'm talking about 100 plus kilometers from a CBD. And regional areas with volatile employment and population drivers is always risky. new house and land estates on large, edge of civilization areas with no historical data. I'm not saying all off the plan is bad. It just needs to be boutique. It needs to be in a great location. It needs to show some unique value. Oversupplied cookie cutter, off the plan properties with no unique appeal. I'm talking about, high-rise buildings when there's 450 two-bedroom units that are all being built at the same time. Old, tired, handyman dream properties that require hours of your time and thousands of dollars to renovate. So those are properties we do not recommend, okay? I often talk about balance and knowing your goals. So higher rental yield properties may have a place in your portfolio. They certainly have a place in mine. But we believe that these come after a strong foundation of capital growth driven properties that have been purchased, okay? So I'm going to give you some examples now. For more than 3 decades, Providence have helped Australians open up a life of opportunity through real estate and given them the future that they want. And we buy unique quality assets in areas where demand outpaces supply. And we focus on property that appeals to the much larger market of owner-occupiers, which take up 70% of buyers, and not investors, which only takes up 30% of buyers. So we buy in the right capital cities at the right time, guided by economic property cycles. We buy the property which is uniquely suited to your situation, which will act as a springboard to your next wealth building stage. And this is how top performing investors build wealth. Now, I'm going to show